The Mahoney County Board of Elections will hold a regular meeting of the members of the Board of the Reorganization meeting on Tuesday, March 4th at 4 p.m. in the boardroom of the Mahoney County Board of Election Office, 345 Oak Hill Avenue. Would the director call the roll,
Ms.
please?
Sandy Barger.
Here.
Attorney Dave Beatrice.
Here.
Attorney Lisa Robinson.
Here.
Ms. Calpesta.
Here.
Would we stand now and have the Vice Chairwoman of the Board of Elections lead us in the pledge of allegiance?
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have a moment of silence for our nation, please. Thank you. We will now move to the reorganization of the Board of Directors of the Mahoney County Board of Elections. I nominate as a temporary chairperson Joyce Calpesta.
I second.
There's been a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, would the director call the roll?
Ms. Sandy Barger.
Yes.
Attorney Dave Beatrice.
Yes.
Attorney Lisa Robinson.
Yes.
Ms. Joyce Calpesta.
Madam Chairwoman, you will take it over to run the rest. Appointment,
I would like to have a motion to appoint the MCBOE director.
now, under law, any member can do that, right?
I thought it had to be from the same political party. I thought.
It doesn't have to, it's been tradition.
Okay, Sandy, go ahead and make the motion. For Lisa.
I move to select Tom McCabe as the director of the Mahoney County Board of Elections.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Well, aye,
Aye.
Aye.
We're about to do that.
we are.
Okay. I would like a motion to accept, to nominate the deputy director of the Mahoney County Board of Elections.
I nominate Melissa Wasco as deputy director.
I second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Election of chairman of the Mahoney County Board of Elections. I nominate David Beatrice. Am I allowed to nominate?
Yeah.
I nominate David Beatrice.
I second the motion.
All
Would the
in
director
favor?
call the roll?
Oh,
Ms. Sandy Barger.
Yes.
Attorney Dave Beatrice.
Yes.
Attorney Lisa Robinson.
Yes.
You want this back, Mr. Chairman?
Yeah.
Ms. Joyce Calpesta.
Yes.
Okay, we will now move for the selection of the vice chairperson of the Mahoney County Board of Elections. I nominate Sandra Barger as the vice chairperson of the Mahoney County Board of Elections.
I second.
There's been a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, would the director call the roll, please?
Ms. Sandy Barger.
Yes.
Attorney Dave Beatrice.
Yes.
Attorney Lisa Robinson.
Yes.
Ms. Joyce Calpesta.
Yes.
We will now move to the appointment of the Mahoney County Board of Elections Republican and Democratic full-time staff.
So moved.
Well, let's get the name. I can make a motion myself. I nominate the following people for the Mahoney County Board of Elections full-time staff. And as we read your name, if you'd come forward, please. Brian Devon. Devine, sorry.
He's not really, but.
Jeanette Ditzler.
Yes.
I'm gonna make the motion, and then
we'll
someone will
second.
second it, and then we'll vote on them all one
You
time.
can't have a second before you can discuss it.
No, I'm just calling them up, then someone will second it. I'm making a motion. Ann Dominic. Jill Downey. Susan Kennedy. Susan La Scola, did I say that correctly?
Yes.
Oh, pretty good. Nicholas Momus, did I say it right? James Malarkey. Daniel O'Neill. Christopher Rackesee. Lorraine Sorrentino. And Ann Sims. Is there a second for my nomination of the Mahoney County Board of Elections full-time staff?
I second.
There's been a motion made to make Brian Devine, Jeanette Ditzler, Ann Dominic, Jill Downey, Susan Kennedy, Susan Lascola, Nick Momus, James Malarkey, Daniel O'Neill, Christopher Rackesee, Lorraine Sorrentino, and Ann Sims. There's been a motion made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, would the director call the roll, please?
Ms. Sandy Barger.
Yes.
Attorney Dave Beatrice.
Yes.
Attorney Lisa Robinson.
Yes.
Ms. Joyce Scarpesta.
Yes.
Would the members please come up front and raise your right hand? Come on, all up. What are you afraid of? I'm sorry you have to, I'm sorry swearing you in at the same time makes you violate your oath, but subject to the conditions already. Everyone raise their right hand. Say aye, enter your name. Well, hold on a second. We're gonna do the director and deputy director first, then we'll do everyone else. For Tom and Melissa, say aye.
Aye. Okay.
Okay. Do hereby support the Constitution of the United States
Do hereby support the Constitution of the United States
and the Ohio Constitution,
and the Ohio Constitution.
to perform all duties of the position to the best of their abilities, to enforce the election laws,
To enforce election laws.
and here comes the funny part, and to preserve all records, documents, and other property pertaining to the conduct of elections that are placed in our custody.
Trying.
Okay. All right, now the rest of the members, would you please raise your right hand and say aye, state your name.
I, Danielle O'Neill,
Do hereby take an oath to support the Constitution of the United States
do hereby take an oath to support the Constitution of the United States
and the Ohio Constitution,
and the Ohio Constitution,
to perform all duties of the position to the best of your abilities,
to perform all the duties of the position to the best of my abilities,
here comes the funny part, to enforce election laws
to enforce election laws,
and to preserve all records, documents, and other property pertaining to the conduct of elections that are placed in our custody. And to preserve all records, documents, and other property pertaining to the conduct of elections that are placed in our custody. So help me God. Congratulations.
Can you guys turn that way and make a nice big picture together? Come on, Tom. So we have one all together. Get up there, Spock. Yeah.
Shall we name 2 rows?
Everyone say, okay,
We all
I see,
right?
I have everybody. Everybody's looking? 1, 2, 3.
I want to just thank our staff for a second. Well, while you're in here. Because I just want to thank you guys for the hard work you do. And especially thank you for the conditions that you're forced to work in. No one should be forced to work in the conditions that we have continually asked you to do, and you continue to perform your jobs outstandingly. And I just want to personally thank each and every one of you, because we're going to do our best to get you a new house, because no one should have to work in the conditions, election after election, that you're faced with. And I want to personally thank you for persevering, and we're going to do everything we can to get you a new home. Okay? Thank you.
Nick, just keep those trucks handy.
Okay, I'll take a motion, the chairman will now take a motion to approve the minutes of the February 10th, 2025 regular board meeting. There's a motion made by member Joyce Kilpesta. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Vice Chairwoman Sandra Barger. Is there any discussion, comments, or concerns? Hearing none. Would the director call the roll?
Ms. Sandy Barger.
Yes.
Attorney David Beatrice.
Yes.
Attorney Lisa Robinson.
Yes.
Ms. Joyce Scarpesta.
Yes.
All right. Approve the bill of accounts and payments for January and February 2025. I'll accept them. There's a motion made to approve the bills of accounts and payments for January and February of 2025. Motion made by Sandra Barger. Is there a second?
I second.
Seconded by Attorney Lisa Robinson. Is there any discussions, comments, or concerns? Hearing none, would the director call the roll,
Ms.
please?
Sandy Barger.
Yes.
Attorney David Beatrice.
Yes.
Attorney Lisa Robinson.
Yes.
Ms. Joyce Scarpesta.
Yes.
Chairman's report. Reconsideration of Robert Deegan. Do we have a letter or something?
I believe we do. He's asking for reconsideration. Why is the letter here? That someone we had disqualified on the face of the petition. He's running for first ward council and second ward council in Struthers, but failed to put second ward council in.
Did you put it anywhere on the petition?
No, this council.
Is this a fatal flaw?
It is, and especially now in Struthers, they also have council at large. And so the revised code is very clear that that part of the petition must be filled in, shall be filled in. If it wasn't, past practice is that we disqualify petitions in the past based on this error.
Is Mr. Deegan here?
Yes, I am.
Would you like to address us?
Yeah, I just wanted to come down and see the process, and I know I made a mistake, so
Yeah.
I don't know what, it's
I'm
not gonna
really
dissuade me from
sorry.
running, but,
I hate doing this.
yeah, I understand.
I really think it should be left up to the voters and not us, but we're bound to follow laws.
Sure.
I just took an oath, Attorney Robinson just took an oath, and the director, deputy director just took an oath, and under the law, that part has to say which position you're running for.
Sure.
And if you don't, it's considered what we consider a fatal flaw. And I'm sorry to disqualify you, but if it was up to me, I wouldn't, but I don't have that choice,
Right, I understand.
okay?
And on petitions, there's such things as substantial compliance where this board has authority to act, and there's also strict compliance. And this is one of those issues with strict compliance to the law.
Yeah. And the reason is so when people are signing the petition, they know exactly what you're asking them to sign. And so, like Tom says, they have 5 council people in Struthers,
Four in Struthers.
4 and a councilman at large,
3 at large.
3 at large. So these people don't know exactly what they're signing for. So unless someone wants to make a motion to do it, if not, the decision's going to stand. Hearing no motion, the decision will stand. Mr. Deegan, I'm really sorry.
That's
Thank you for
fine.
coming down.
I'll run us right in, that's fine.
All right.
Thank you anyway.
Thank you.
Bid opening for ballots. So can you tell us what we're doing, please?
Sure, we're bidding for the primary election after the problems we had last year. This board discussed and decided that we'll bid for one election in the primary, see how that vendor does for us before we extend it to November instead of doing a full year. So we put out the bids last week, gave everyone a 5-day window to respond.
And who have we gotten bids from?
Well, we got bids from BBM, it's Graphic Village, they're the ones that did our ballots last minute last time.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm gonna,
Yeah, but some of these we will,
I want to get them all in the envelope.
sure. IBS, I was in Dine, Ohio, I've done ballots for us before, and did a
Is this
great
2
job.
separate? Why is it 2
That you,
separate?
Jeremy?
Yes.
Because it's absentee and election day, it's 2 separate bids.
And this, I assume, has 2 separate bids in it too?
So Graphic Village partners with ES&S, one does the absentee and one does the election day. So when you open it, you'll have to see what they
Can I
say.
ask a
Okay.
question? Oh, Can I ask a
Go
question?
ahead.
Why aren't we doing absentees in-house? We should not have that many for the city election.
So the way we wrote the bid is they would just do that initial large.
Large,
which Chris
and then
thought
we would
be
do it
about-
day to day.
Yeah, and the way the contract will be written is we'll decide, because based on how many.
How many?
Yeah,
Okay.
All right,
exactly.
who's this a bid from?
This is from the company out of Rochester,
Phoenix.
Phoenix, out of Rochester, New York.
Okay.
We received a bid from Print Elect. The person that bids could not get it in, so they did email it to us, so the board has to decide if they want to accept or reject that bid. And then we have one from Election System and Software.
All right, so the first, well, let's first go.
One more question.
Yes.
ES&S can work with the Graphic Village, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. So
right.
basically what their bid would be on ballots is what we would have to also pay Graphic Village.
Correct.
All right.
Now, what do we want to do with Print Electric? We don't have our attorney here. What is the, I didn't know this would be up, or I'd have taken a look real quick.
We just found out this afternoon. We told her to submit it just in case, but in the past, it should be sealed. It has to be delivered to us. Email technology and the law still hasn't caught up. I do not believe we can take a bid by email with you.
No, I would agree, we cannot.
All right, we will take that bid aside. The first one I'm gonna open is a bid proposal from ES&S Election Software. What the heck? This is dangerous, something like this in my hand.
Yeah, I'm feeling the Lisa right now.
I have good insurance, don't worry.
You have good insurance,
Also, we know a good attorney. We know a good attorney.
To review team. Says, Dear David Beatrice, we are grateful for this opportunity to partner with you and understand what a privilege that is. We're proud of the support we've provided to Ohio Ballot Printing over the years and our partnership with Graphic Village, which has 35 years of experience printing ES&S ballots. Our proposed solution exceeds your requirements for ballot printing, and we have excellent customer service. You have grown to know us, ES&S, to offer with this additional service. Thank you, and we look forward to working with you. Sincerely, Christy Erickson, Director of Ballot Printing Services. All right.
Can I ask a question? Which one of these folks will fill the needs
Last
in the
time they're in here.
emergency? This- Was it ES&S?
No.
Yes.
No, this past November when we had,
Yes.
it was Graphic Village out of,
It was ES&S and Graphic Village. One did the absentees and one did the election.
Okay.
And they partner, but there are two different companies.
that's right.
So Graphic Village has absentees? Is that
I
correct?
think from our election day ballots, correct?
I think it's the
That's-
opposite. Graphic
Oh.
Village did the absentees and ES&S did the election.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, here, they've answered all the questions correctly, and here is their proposal. Cost per ballot, 22 cents. Election day ballots, 14-inch ballots with 3-inch stubs, 1 page 40 cents, 2 page 80 cents, 3 pages $1.30. And they have attached a bid bond from a bonding company. So their bid is 22 cents for 170,000 ballots at 1 page. That's, and the election day ballot, 1 page is 40 cents, 2 pages 80, 3 pages $1.30.
So does it say the 22 cents is if we order 170,000 and then if it's under that amount, it's those other amounts?
It just says 170 ballots, 1 page.
Yeah, 22 cents.
And if it's 170,000 on one page, it sounds like
Yeah,
It should only be 1 page, correct?
Correct.
we shouldn't have 2 pages for this election, right?
No,
No,
it'll be
no.
1 page ballot,
So their bid for 170,000 ballots,
22 cents.
22 cents. Just want to make sure we get it all
that.
right.
I think the number's gonna be under 170.
Yeah, about 165, we think. Which is fine, they know that.
Okay.
Yeah, all the companies know that.
That's election day. So
That's
that's for
ES&S.
election day, ES&S.
Right. This is a bid response from VBM absentee mailing from Graphics Village. Now, this is the one that bailed us out before,
That's correct.
With ES&S, and they partnered.
and they're partner on this too, or no?
Well, they bid separate, so you can award separate, but they partner together. That's just their.
ES&S prints their ballots.
The Graphic Village prints ES&S ballots.
Right, that's what I mean, they use their paper.
Mahoney County Board of Elections, bid response, vendor, Graphic Village, absentee ballot, printing and mailing, 2025. you wanted to review the while I'm looking at this. The bond seems to be in order. We can look at this, this is their answering the questions. All right.
Oh, you already know?
This one says
Okay, I
election day
have no
ballots.
idea.
These are in-person ballots. Okay.
All right, summary sheet for absentee ballots, bids for 2025 election. This worksheet must accompany your bid. 40,000 ballots, one page, cost per ballot $2.95. 40,000 ballots, 2 pages, cost per ballot $3.31. 40,000 ballots, 3 pages, cost per ballot $3.67. 40,000 ballots, 4 pages, cost per ballot $4.03. A bowing, including stub hourly programming rate for ballots, $125. Delivery, I mean, I'm assuming this is all included in their bid, right?
Yeah, the $2.95 on page.
Yeah,
The envelopes, the inserts, everything.
yeah. If the absentee ballot packet is mailed at local BME in Cincinnati, the cost of the daily drop is reduced to $1,150 plus packet total cost. I don't know what that means.
You pay postage on top of the printing.
Top of the envelopes and everything, the inserts.
It says, we request that you mail drops be 2 times a week with file received by 11 a.m. the following day. Graphic Village will also offer an initial drop, initial drop pricing as follows. 40,000 ballots, $2.95. Yeah, $3.31, $3.67. Yeah.
So this is for 40,000 ballots.
Correct, and we're talking more than 2,000 to 3,000, but each of the vendors, when we talk to them, made aware we'll probably do 1 drop.
Okay. So this is taking it to the post office and doing what they do?
That's everything.
That's everything.
Oh, okay.
In other words, we just send them the file, they print up the ballot, they print up the envelope, they mail it, and with a return envelope to us.
And I must say, they did it within 2 to 3 days after they received our first mailing, so that
Yeah.
was really,
Which was like 11,000 some ballots. Right?
So the 2 proposals we opened up, ES&S is talking about election day ballots,
That's
correct?
correct.
And this company is just bid on absentees.
Correct.
Is I have that right?
That's correct. Now, if ES&S is awarded the bid, Graphic Village will be printing the ballots for ES&S.
But they gotta do it at that price.
Correct,
All right. This is IVS. Have we ever dealt with IVS before?
yes, we have.
Did you wanna see these, Liz?
Sure. So you said there's only gonna be like 3,000 absentee ballots printed.
For the first drop, and then what we'll do, we'll bring everything else in the house, print them here, mail them here. Because we can handle a couple hundred a day, what we can't handle is a presidential of thousands per day every day. And we're looking at maybe 10% turnout across the county on average for a special election, 10, 12% maybe. So we can handle that volume. And it saves money to do it that way on a small scale.
All right. If I'm reading this one correctly, it's integrated voting systems, cost per ballot is 19 cents. For,
And that's election day, David?
yeah, And then, election day ballots is 40 cents for 1 page, 80 cents for 2 pages, and $1.30 for 3 pages. And they have a bond here from,
That's the language that you put into the bid. So those aren't pricing, those are the not to exceed costs.
Okay.
but your cost per ballot is 19 cents.
Correct.
Okay. Where we keep-
Right here.
And I'm assuming this is the absentee component. This is their absentee proposal. So once again, we'd only have one drop really, right, Tom, this time?
That's right.
Okay. So it looks like 40,000 is $1.30 per ballot. That would include printing and postage and everything, correct?
It would not include postage, it would include everything else. It would include printing, folding, inserting.
So how are we gonna compare apples to apples here?
Well, the other one doesn't include postage either.
It does not.
That $2.95 includes everything except for postage. The others do. And what was this one, Jeremy?
$1.30.
Where
All
would
right.
you mail out of, Jeremy?
Cleveland.
So integrated voting systems, absentees $1.30, absent the postage, and the other company was how much?
$2.95.
Yeah, it's not even close.
But I had learned, cheapest is not always. best.
Well, I understand that, Joyce, we're gonna have that discussion as soon as we open this last one. This looks to be a little tricky. See, she hasn't even been on the board. She hasn't even been on the board, she hasn't even gone through one meeting yet.
Not even half an hour.
But it was good advice.
She gets the gold star for the-
She does.
Well, Phoenix Graphics says, we regret to inform you we are submitting no bid on invitations to the bid measures above. Although the specification of this bid falls within our capabilities, we are not able to offer products you requested at a competitive rate. This is because our current production setup will require multiple offline steps to meet your ballot specifications. So, and Mark Stovallone, Vice President. So, that's a no bid. So, if I read this correctly, the lowest bid would be IVS, correct? And we are to go with the lowest and best. And so, I wanna talk about, with the director and everyone in the open, what would be your recommendations here?
Well, I think since we only have 2 bids on the absentees and 2 on the election day ballots, the absentees is pretty, Jeremy's worked with us on absentees, they went well, and just the price difference, I don't think there's any discussion needed between $1.30 and $2.95.
I agree.
That's a really no-brainer, knowing that we've worked with Jeremy before, to us, that's
We've had no problems, like last
nothing
time.
major, no.
Well, and they're coming out of Cleveland and all our mail that goes from here goes to Cleveland
Right.
anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all right, so do I have a motion then to grant the bid to IVS for the absentee ballots? And,
So-
right, the absentees.
That's right.
So moved.
There's a motion made by Vice Chairwoman Sandra Barger to award the absentee ballots. This is for just the primary, correct?
That's correct.
Just the primary to IVS. Is there a second?
I second.
Seconded by Attorney Lisa Robinson. Is there any comments, discussions, or concerns? The only comment I have or concern I have is, we've worked with them before, we're not gonna have any hiccups.
So.
Sure. No, it's,
Raise your right hand.
yeah, right, you want me to swear myself in again? Yeah, no, as far as I'm concerned, we have a good working
We've
relationship.
used them before, Joyce, we're good?
We had a little problem in the governor's election.
With the header,
with
the
header.
absentee header.
Yeah, with the absentee header.
That was the first time they did absentees?
Second time, wasn't it the
Yeah.
general? It was in the general election.
That was the election we had
I
trouble
think we
standing
worked that out.
absentees.
Yeah, I remember that.
Right, we were here all night.
Yes.
Standing absentees.
Yeah.
That's been fixed. It was something that.
Yes, we have done them
Improved.
since then, and we have fixed it.
Right.
Right.
So we shouldn't have any problems with that?
No, we got that.
Okay,
Right.
because we got beat up for how long it took us to get the results.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
One thing about IVS also, because we have worked together for so long, they are very responsive. They immediately call us back, and if there is any kind of problem, they are immediately responsive.
And Jeremy's our go-to.
He's actually showed up in person over questions.
Yeah.
All right, now to go to the election day ballots. Is my
We
understanding,
have to vote on
oh, I'm sorry, would the director call the roll, please?
Miss Sandy Barger?
Yes.
Attorney Dave Beatrice?
Yes.
Attorney Lisa Robinson?
Yes.
Miss Joyce Calpesto?
it. Yes.
I'm being thrown off with the new board member. right?
Sorry.
Yeah, I know you forgot who I am.
It's like a phone number.
Yeah.
You don't have to say, if you don't want, you don't have to say attorney, you just say Dave Beatrice, Lisa Robinson.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
I'm good with that.
Will that make me the attorney?
Dr. Sandy
I
Barger?
like, I like being called miss.
You don't like this?
I like miss.
Now we'll entertain a motion for the election ballots, right?
Correct, election day
And
ballots.
it looks like the difference between 19 and 22 cents, correct?
That's correct. The difference is about $4,900 on the overall contract. That's something we should have a discussion on. It's lowest and best.
Well, I mean,
I have a little affinity towards Graphic Village and SS since they bailed us out last election. They did a great job last minute, but Jeremy's done them. You've done election day ballots before too, right?
Oh, yeah. Hmm.
Did Graphic Village vote on E-Day?
What's that?
Did they enter a bid on E-Day? I only have them bidding
No,
on
they
after
use the
E-Day.
SNS to do that.
See, I have a loyalty to them too because they really bailed us out of a bad situation.
well, I understand that us out, but we paid them premium price to bail us out.
We paid them, but they did it in like 3 days, and
I
I mean, we were really
appreciate
under the
that.
gun.
Listen, I appreciate that, but we're dealing with taxpayer dollars. You know what I'm saying? And so I can't have
We are.
fidelity just because someone bailed us out to the tune of $5,000. I can't say to the taxpayers, well, you know, we're gonna spend an extra $5,000 because they bailed us out.
Right.
And
I mean-
also a fair point is it is very nice to work with one vendor for both. It
Yeah.
happens to be easier.
It is easier that
And I
way.
appreciate that Jeremy's sitting right here too.
Yeah.
Like he did show
I
up
mean,
in the
listen,
back.
listen, I wholeheartedly thank that Graphic Village
Yeah.
for bailing us out. And, you know, we're getting in a lawsuit over that. We did pay a premium for that though, so it's like, they did bail us out, but we also paid a premium for it. But we were stuck, but to the tune of 5,000, I just, you know, I'm sorry.
What were you saying, Joyce?
I would like to ask Susie, how did ES&S's ballots arrive? Did they arrive the way we wanted them?
Yeah, I had no problem with arrival, how they come, you know, packed or anything like that. My problem is, are they gonna be here on time?
With
Bye.
ES&S?
ES&S was, yeah, oh yeah, they were. I don't remember Jeremy because it's been a
Oh,
few
it's been years, yeah.
Yeah,
They were on time.
We had a little problem with perforation, Jeremy, too, I remember, at the location.
What I remember most about Jeremy's bids before was having the hand run them through.
Right, well, that was the absentees.
Yeah, that drove me nuts.
The word absentee impacted the timing mark.
It did. Or the machine, no, it was just an issue. I understand that the cost is different, but as I said before, we've gotten into lower, and lower isn't always best. I mean,
I
we have
understand
to do
that.
what's good, you say for the taxpayers, but we have to do what's good for the voters.
Yeah, but your rationale, in my opinion, is, hey, they bailed us out, therefore we should give them
Well,
a go-ahead.
this
And
is a
that's-
one-time process, right, this bid? So if something goes wrong with these ballots this time, we'll know for November.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think we go with, you know, IBS now.
Yeah.
And then see how it goes.
He's on like super
So
secret
you're on the-
probation.
You're on the block,
You
Jeremy.
I should have these
That's it,
two.
right?
Yes.
Oh, you'll
And
have,
look, Susie's already whispering in his ear.
How she wants it packed. And that's important, how they come packed. It really is. That's why I always ask her. Because
All right, so
it really
we
is.
will, I'll entertain a motion to award these election day ballots to IBS
I'll make that motion.
There's a motion made by Joyce Keel Pesta. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Vice Chairwoman Sandra Barger. Is there any comments, discussions, or concerns? The only thing I would say is, before we vote on this, I would like to write a really nice thank you letter to that other company. I want to express our gratitude. That this
I agree.
isn't because we're not grateful for what they did for us, but our job isn't to be, have fidelity to someone to the tune of $5,000. That's taxpayer dollars. I gotta look at it for me, I gotta look at it very objectively. But that doesn't mean I don't want them to think that, so if one of you could write a letter to them, and I'll have a whole, next board meeting, have all of us sign it, okay? All right, we had a motion and a second, right? Ann?
Correct.
All right, is there any other comments, questions, or concerns? Hearing none, would the director call the roll?
Sandy Barger?
Yes.
Dave Petrus?
Yes.
Lisa Robinson?
Yes.
Joyce Pesta?
Yes.
Now, she liked the miss, and she wanted to keep it
All
in
right.
spot. She enjoyed it when you said that.
She did. She
After you
said-
make them submit what they want. That's how it's done.
Flashcards for you next time.
Okay, now directors, going to my report, exhibit number 1 there is the supply warehouse. I want the board to know, and I want the taxpayers to know, that I spent $1,000 of my own money to get these pictures blown up and put on placards. I'm not asking to be reimbursed. I'm doing that out of loyalty and fidelity to the director, deputy director, and every employee here that we make work in this horrific building. And I want these pictures to be a graphic visualization to everyone in Mahoning County that this is not acceptable anymore. That I didn't want to be a loudmouth. I really didn't. But now is the time for me to be a loudmouth because we have cajoled, begged, bargained, and done everything we can for years. And now I know they have 2 buildings. And there is no reason why they can't move us while they figure out what else they're doing with everything else. There's no reason that we as a board, we are independent, and we're independent for a reason. The legislature makes us independent, so we are not part of a political process. So we act in a bipartisan manner to do what's best. And we all just took an oath. Lisa and I specifically just took an oath. Where's that paper at? It's kind of laughable, and in a way it's kind of not laughable. We took an oath. Where's that? Okay. Lisa and I just took this oath, and the oath said that we will preserve all records, documents, and other property pertaining to the conduct of elections that are placed in our custody.
Well, we've all taken that oath.
I understand that, but we've just recently taken the oath, and we made our employees take the oath, and I'm telling you that I don't know how we are taking that oath with how this looks. And I just want to say publicly, this is not our fault anymore. We have made the county commissioners well aware of this problem. We have done everything we can, but this is unacceptable. These pictures down here is the county directly to the south of us, Columbiana County. And I want to know why Columbiana County's record, their board of elections, look at how pristine everything looks. This is how you should store records. This is how you should protect machines. This is how it should be done, not how we do it. And so my understanding is they want to give us a temporary fix and move everything to the first floor. That's not going to shut me up. I'm sorry. I don't want them to think, oh, well, this will keep them quiet for a while. It's not going to keep me quiet for a while. I'm not going to shut up until I know we're going to move. Because once they say we're going to move, it's going to be a year. It's going to be a year or more process to get that done. And I'm not comfortable making our employees walk where Sandy and I just were on the 5th floor. It looks like a bombed out building. It's not acceptable. And so I have sent to all the board members a letter that I suggest we send and we make available to the press. If you don't want to sign it, fine. My proposal let me read the letter, and if you guys are in agreement, fine, if you're not, you know, the First Amendment, by the way, just doesn't apply to individuals, it applies to governments too. We have a First Amendment right to petition our government for redress of a wrong. This board has an independent First Amendment right, and that's what I'm doing. I'm exercising our First Amendment right. And it says, Dear Commissioners Trafficani, Remedio, Rigetti, and DeFabio, we write today to respectfully request that the Mahoney County Commissioners take immediate steps to relocate the Mahoney County Board of Elections from the Oak Hill Renaissance to 5740 Patriot Boulevard, Austin, Ohio, the county-owned building that once housed InfoCision Call Center. We believe the space the BOE now occupies is outdated, outmoded, and long outlived its usefulness. We also believe that the horrible and dilapidated conditions in which the BOE is forced to go about the business of conducting free and fair elections places the integrity and security of the electoral process in our county at risk, and by extension undermines the public trust in our democracy. The many serious problems that afflict Oak Hill facility are well known, well documented, and long-standing. Over the years, as the situation worsened, a variety of solutions were proposed, discussed, and abandoned until commissioners made the wise and prudent decision to acquire the Patriot Boulevard building. The assertion that another study is needed before the BOE can move is ludicrous. We do not need another study to tell us that every day of inaction brings us closer to a disaster that will lead to the destruction and or damage of vital records and expensive equipment. We do not need a study to tell us the only thing standing between us and that disaster are dedicated members of the BOE staff who persevere and perform in what may be the most incredibly challenging environment in the state of Ohio. And we do not need a study to tell us that voters who want to exercise their right to vote clearly should not have to circle over to Hill's inadequate parking lot incessantly before they are forced to stand in line in an overcrowded office to cast their ballots. Commissioners, the time to move forward has arrived. There's simply no plausible reason or excuse for today. In conclusion, we want to emphasize that this is neither a partisan nor political issue. We are involved in this cause because we believe the right to vote is the very foundation of our nation. When that right is threatened, we are all in jeopardy of losing freedoms we hold dear. We urge you in the strongest possible terms to protect these freedoms by beginning the process of relocating the Mahoney County Board of Elections to Patriot Boulevard today, sincerely. If you want to add another building in, we can add another building, whatever, but I just think that I want to send them this letter and release it to the press. And I've not heard back from Chris, but I suggested that Tom, not only as the board director, but as the chairman of the Republican Party, and I think I can impose upon Chris to sign it as the chairman of the Democratic Party, to show that this is not a political issue, it's not a partisan issue, it is a bipartisan issue, and it requires immediate solution, okay? And I'll open it for discussions.
Well, I think that you've stirred the pot. There was a nice article in the paper recently that I sent everybody to read about the buildings. They're looking at the studies, and yes, they've done enough studies. But I would hope that the commissioners could meet with Tom, the Port Authority, and maybe a member of the board like Joyce, who knows so much about what's needed.
They've done
But
that.
Huh?
They've done that.
What,
They've never
have
met
they?
with me about the building.
They've met with all of us about our need. I mean, we've talked to them about wanting to move, right?
Well, no,
Wanting to
no.
move and talking about specific needs are two different things. Not the specific needs and wanting to move, yes. But our specific needs and what we're looking to get, no.
We need a building to have that happen first, though, right?
Well, they have to decide on a building because they have,
Yeah, I have a problem with the Patriot. I think it's too far out. Bev Road would be my intention, because there's a bus route that runs right past the hospital. It's right there. I mean, I would
There's
like
a
to
bus
look-
route there too.
Yeah, I would like to, I know there is, but it's off the beaten path, David. You've got to,
So is this place.
Wait, can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
Which building, either Bev Road or Patriot, requires more repair to get it up and running to fulfill
I
our?
wouldn't be able to know that.
InfoCision has a lot that would have to be demolished and gutted and done and put electricity in, I think. Bev Road is already active. They're already using Bev Road to some extent.
How many square feet is Bev Road, do we know?
It's huge, I don't know how many square feet it is, I know it's big.
Can we put in either Patriot Building or can we add another one in?
Oh, I don't care.
Would-
I just think a phone call at this point, you know, we've got, these are all over the internet, they've been in the paper, they've been on the news. I think we need to just be a little bit more,
Patient?
no, not patient, but I think Tom with the Commissioner, Port Authority, and Joyce could set up a meeting to talk about it, like, where are we? Because we're not gonna move tomorrow, and we're not gonna move by the end of the year, it's just not gonna happen. And you probably built a building and moved from an old building to a new building, it takes time. And I
That's-
think
that's
they're
my
starting to,
concern.
yes,
That's my
but I
concern.
think they're moving in some direction to help us.
Do we know them?
We don't know that, but I think we should have that discussion with them maybe,
So,
and see where they're at if.
Go ahead.
Can I ask another question? I have a suggestion, a new kid on the block, and you guys can laugh at me behind
No one's gonna laugh
my
at you.
We'll laugh in your face. honey.
Okay, it's okay.
Right.
So here's my question.
Did you and Joyce color coordinate today?
You
That
did.
was
We did, black and
Yeah.
tan.
Isn't there a beer club left?
real. Yeah, there is, go ahead.
There's a police
So-
force in Ireland.
That's us?
Yeah, that's us.
Um,
Are you Irish, honey?
no,
Oh.
very little.
Oh.
Is the, Olean's going to St. Patrick's Day. Is there a possibility for us to get a copy of the study that's done by the Port Authority? Like, let's read it, let's see what their plans are for us, or if they even.
I thought we were given that, weren't we, Tom?
We weren't given the plan on this building. They haven't released that, the commissioners have that.
Is
They
it
showed
a
us the
public
plan.
record?
Do you mean on the Patriot Building or on this building?
They did a study
No,
on
the
this.
study on all 22 buildings, let's
Oh.
figure out what they have. You know, in the event that the people have to stay here, we move the equipment somewhere else, or,
Oh, no.
like, well, no, I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that that's
It's just
even a
an idea.
possibility. But, like, information is power.
Yeah, I
Like,
agree with
why
that.
don't we look at the study and see what they said? And then, to your point, is that you said the building should be retrofitted for the needs, or vice versa. But which building best fits the specific needs of this board? And this-
I don't think.
Which is the
it-
answer we don't have, which is what you're saying, let's get that answer.
Correct.
Yeah. Which would require us to have them actually hire an architect to work with us. But before they can do that,
They have to know what building.
they have to know what building. I mean, we could sit down and tell them what our needs are.
Well, let's
and-
see what the Port Authority came up with, that's all I'm saying. Just look at it. Would you be adverse to writing
No.
a letter, everybody signs it, give it to us, we wanna look at it. We just want information.
Well, I would instruct either the director or deputy director to write a letter. And we will review it next board meeting and all of us sign it, saying, I plan before the next board meeting going there again. I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, I feel bad for our staff now. I mean, these people do an incredible job, okay, under very arduous circumstances. And we are, telling you, we are one election away from a complete disaster. And then everyone's gonna be pointing their finger at us. I'm gonna hold up a mirror and say, look, we've been screaming about this at the top of our lungs, that this is not acceptable for anybody to work in these conditions. It's not acceptable for any of us to keep our records the way they're kept. It's just unacceptable.
Is it possible to, because your letter is beautifully written and it hits all the points, but is it possible to say any appropriate building and then ask for a meeting so that we can just sit down with them and have like a,
Well, I like Lisa's idea too, what's available?
well,
You
but
know,
that's what I'm saying, you could put that in the letter with your same statements and say,
Right.
we'd like to sit down together, we're open to any building.
Right.
Sort of like, say those points, but then add those things that the three of you are saying and make it a little bit
So I know
more
in
soft.
addition to the,
Yeah.
well, soft never works for me, Lisa, but I'll try.
To see
Right now, they're the
and
China
ask-
and I'm the bull.
And to see
Okay.
this point, ask, can we please sit down together just to have you know, and whatever, half their board, half our board, so they can just have
But
a
they-
conversation.
Don't they have a meeting before the county commissioners meeting or a working meeting?
After.
What is that
Those
called?
are their staff meetings.
Staff
Yeah,
meetings.
but we're invited to staff meetings if we ask.
If we ask, right.
Well,
Oh,
why don't
maybe we do that.
why don't we ask to be invited to the next staff meeting? And all of you go, and I won't. Because if I go, I'm sorry, I'm too passionate about this issue.
I think you only have 2 board members.
That's fine.
Well, as long as we're not voting on anything.
Well, you
If
and
it's
you
just
and
an
Melissa can go
information
also.
thing.
Right,
You and
that's
Melissa
right,
can go
yeah.
and 2 board members are allowed. Because if you have 3.
Well, no, the open meetings law that doesn't prevent us from gathering information. We're not voting on anything, we're not making any decisions, we're just on an information gathering.
I don't know, that's why we always, before conference, we have to do that special motion,
Right,
so
and
that
they
people
vote
know
on
when they're all
things.
convening in one place.
They vote on things at the staff meetings also.
So, I mean, Tom, and then say, one of the 2 Republicans and Joyce will go, because if I go, I'll be like, I'm sorry, I'm too passionate about this issue, maybe it's.
You know, she was always a pretty good hippie. In her time
In
over
my
here
day,
in the
in my day.
directorship, so.
But I know what I'm gonna hear from them. Oh, we're studying it, we're looking, we're
Yeah.
trying to figure out, we wanna see where JFNS is gonna go, we wanna see where to me, that's just dribble. I don't care about their other political problems. Those are their problems. That's not our problems. Our problem is this. This is our problem, okay? The fact that they have other political problems that's not, like I said it in the meeting to them. This is not our circus, not our monkeys. That's your guys' circus and monkey show, not ours. I'm sorry.
Tom, when you ask for the meeting, can you ask them to provide us what buildings are available? So we do have some discretion.
Yeah, I think, like Lisa said, if we get that study,
Right.
we'll have the list of all the
You
20
can,
22
you
buildings.
request those. be
They own
posted.
22 buildings?
Yes.
Own or rent? They own and rent, it's a good combination of.
Yeah, they rent Westchester.
It's the 22 buildings that I think they're already housed in, is what they're talking
Right.
about.
Right.
Right, and they apportion space that's used versus space that's underused.
Correct,
Right, and
Right, we've been looking at this for a long time now. We've decided 20,000 square feet, right?
What's
It's
25?
25,000 square feet.
Yeah.
Be nice.
But only, how many square feet need to be finished? The rest can be, I love how this looks.
Well, everything should be finished.
I
If
mean,
we're gonna move,
I understand that. But I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt. This is how it should look. This is Columbiana County. I mean, look at this. This is all finished and
Yeah.
it's neat, it's clean, they're preserved, it's protected. This is what we should have.
Yeah.
you would want those agreements on the front end, because
Right.
we've been in this building a long time and things are unfinished, so I don't know about that.
Right, so, okay, I mean,
Oh, I-
25,000 square feet, Tom, maybe send them a letter and the 3 you go down there and meet with them.
Page.
Because
I
really,
like
I
that.
think you've moved the needle a little bit in terms of the conversation, they're gonna be realizing we're serious. Instead of it just being like, hey, we wanna move.
We've been
So-
saying, hey, we wanna move for
A year, at least a year.
more than a year.
Well, we've said it, but it's been vocal for about a year. You've been very vocal for about a year.
Right.
Well, I would like to make a motion to have an asbestos study done on our area.
I thought one was done. Was one
Well,
done?
15 years ago, maybe. I don't
Lisa
know.
said-
I heard that from a reliable source that it was done, but I don't have a date. So there's been a lot of walking around and stirring things up, and the building is deteriorated, so maybe it is appropriate for
To
a
just do
brand new one.
Well, they make us pay for it. I'm not gonna pay for their building to have an asbestos study done, okay? I don't know how much those cost.
Not only that, if you have an asbestos and they come back with asbestos, we would be out of here.
Right.
I mean,
Bam.
you would be out of here.
Oh.
Yeah, but where would we go? I mean.
I don't know, but we're gonna find out where they're putting
I
them.
mean,
Maybe that's, could be in the meeting where we gather the data that
Yes.
Lisa was asking for, like what buildings, what tests have been run, see what was already run.
Let me just say one thing. If there is asbestos in this building, I don't know. I mean, if there's asbestos that's contained or asbestos that's not disturbed versus asbestos that gets stirred up and hurts people. We are an employer, and it's our obligation to
I agree with that.
protect our people. So I would second Sandy's motion to get a study.
Okay, but if we're gonna get a study done, I know what they're gonna say to us. They're gonna say, all right, so there's been a
We have to
motion
get
made.
bids on it, if
Yeah.
it's gonna be over, what, $1,500,
2,500.
2,500? Maybe we can find somebody locally that would,
Okay. There's been a motion made in a second that you explore how much it would cost to get a study of of all of our areas that we're in, okay? Whether we're subject to asbestos, but Lisa's right, and Joyce is right, and Sandy's right. If that test comes back that these people are subject to asbestos, you think we're gonna be loud then? We're gonna have no choice, we're gonna say, these people are being subject to asbestos poisoning.
Especially in the basement.
There's two people that are down there all the time.
Yeah. All right, so, Tom, you see if someone could do it for less than 2,500, and then get it done.
Do you have to vote on it?
Yeah,
we
we
need a
gotta vote
roll
on it.
call.
Roll call. Call the roll. Director, call the roll.
Miss Sandy Barger,
Yes.
Attorney David Beatrice,
Yes.
Attorney Lisa Robinson.
Yes.
Ms. Joyce Calpesta.
Yes.
All right, so what that means is you are going to find out if there's a company for less than $2,500
And get it done.
and get it done.
Okay.
And get us the
We
results.
have some local companies.
Well, if it's more than that,
We have to put it out for bid, right?
get
well, we have
quotes.
to get, we're gonna have to either do
Don't have
quotes
to
or
bid, we
bid.
can quote it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was missing one.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we can get it done for
I think
about
so.
2,500. Because I'm pretty sure there's asbestos all over the place. Just from when this building was built, that's what they used for installation.
You know, that might be the push to move us along too.
Okay.
All right, well, that's a very newsworthy item that I think I might talk about. That the board has requested an asbestos study be done on the building. So thank you for that idea, Sandra, that's a wonderful thing. All right, I think that's all I have. Director's report.
Yeah, the board needs to authorize the director and deputy director to hire the necessary staff for the May 6, 2025 primary special election, which we'll start voting in about a month from now. Yeah.
All right.
Isn't that crazy?
The,
I will make a motion to authorize the director to hire the necessary staff to help for the May 6, 2025 primary special election.
I'll second that motion. Is there any comments, questions, or concerns? Hearing none, would the director call the roll?
Ms.
Yeah,
Sandy
you can
Barger,
second it,
Yeah,
Ken.
I can, I read in the Robert Rules of Order, just because you're chairing the meeting, you can second motions.
Okay,
Ms. Sandy Barger,
yes.
Attorney David Beatrice.
Yes.
Attorney Lisa Robinson,
Yes.
Ms. Joyce Calpesta.
Yes.
All right, now approve the schedule of classes and instructions for precinct election officials for the May 6th, 2025 primary special election. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Joyce Kilpesta, is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Lisa Robinson. Is there any comments, questions, or concerns? Hearing none, would the director call the roll?
Ms. Sandy Barger.
Yes.
Attorney David Beatrice.
Yes.
Attorney Lisa Robinson.
Yes.
Ms. Joyce Calpesta.
Yes.
All right, to unfinished business, we sort of did that. We already had a new building discussion. Under new business, I want to make a motion. I would ask this board that the director of the Board of Elections be given access, unfettered access to all of our equipment, and that whoever took his access away, it be reinstated. So I'd appreciate a motion to that effect.
So moved.
There's a motion made by Joyce Kilpesta. Is there a second?
So moved,
A
yes.
seconded by Sandra Barger. Is there any comments, questions, or concerns? Yeah, I have a concern. Why is the director of the Board of Elections access to the 5th floor cut off? Can someone, anyone give me a reason why that is? Other than he took the press up there and showed the public what our workers are subjected to. Other than that reason, is there any other reason why the director or assistant director doesn't have access to that floor?
You still have access?
I've never tried to use that.
Right, right.
So probably we just need to ask that.
I had until after I took the press up there.
Right.
which which we have an independent First Amendment right to do, and believe me, I'm aggravated that they did that to you, because what they did basically was punish you for exercising your First Amendment rights. That's what they did. They said, how dare you tell the public about the 5th floor, and therefore we're gonna take your access away for you telling the public. So your First Amendment rights, in my opinion, were violated. And so I would like you to have the access back. And if you need me to call someone, or perhaps we can go to another county commissioners meeting and tell them, the world, which is a great idea, that now that I think of it, maybe that could be another thing I could talk about, that I want the public to know. As a matter of fact, if I'm available Thursday, I think I'm gonna have a discussion with them about that.
What's stored on the 3rd floor, or
Fifth.
5th floor?
We have voting equipment right there. So we keep some of our extra equipment up there.
5th floor, there you go.
And that there's 5th floor?
Yep.
And 5th floor there? And
Those
5th
are
floor
one
there? And
Anybody needs an extra
Sandra and I
toilet?
were up there, and it's so nice that they have the door propped open with wire, with blue wire. It's ridiculous. I can't believe I have to have this discussion. I can't believe we're making our people work in this. I'm sorry. It's upsetting to me that we have to beg to not make, and our people do such a great job. You guys do such a great job. The people of Mahoney County owe this staff a great debt of gratitude for making them work in these conditions for years. All right, so there's a motion and seconded, and would the director call the roll, please?
Ms. Sandy Barger?
Yes.
Attorney David Beatrice?
Yes.
Attorney Lisa Robinson?
Yes.
Ms. Joyce Calpesto?
Yes.
I would ask that if you do not have your access by next Thursday's commissioners meeting, I want to know whether or not
Okay.
you've been given back your access.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, they cut it off, I can still get there by the steps.
Yeah, we went up the steps.
The
We went past the
the
elevator.
point is not that you could still get access.
So I do need
The,
to.
the point is that they punished you for exercising this board's First Amendment right. Once again, let me remind everyone, the First Amendment just doesn't apply to citizens, it applies to governments, agencies, and boards. And so what they did to our director was punish him for exercising on our behalf our First Amendment right. That's what is really aggravating me, okay? That's what they did, they punished him. They go, how dare you tell the press about the conditions of this building? It's petty.
Did the elevator work?
Yep.
You can come down, you don't need an access card, go up the second floor.
You do need an access card to go up.
Yeah.
That's what Children's Services did that. They put it where you have to scan your access card to go up.
But the 5th floor always worked for me.
Well, I know, I'm just saying.
So you'll let me know by next commissioners meeting?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, anything else for new business?
Yes,
Yes.
I gave to Melissa some things that we saw at conference. There's poll book, pictures I'd like to her to investigate. The cartons for inside the absentees, I'd like her
Oh,
to
yeah.
investigate those.
I actually found those.
Yes, you did.
Yeah,
I
those were
brought the
pretty-
literature.
Yeah. those
I
were
brought the
good.
literature. And I would like to see if we can get 2 DS300s for early voting. The DS300 is the newest machine that they have out that does just the card that we use for early voting.
Okay.
And the speed is so much faster, and I don't think we'll need it this year, but next year, when we have the governor's election, we're going to need it.
DS300.
DS300, it's the newest machine they have out. We would only need 2.
Okay.
So those are the 3 things that I have on my wish list.
Okay.
All right, we'll explore that. Anything else under new business? I want to congratulate and welcome officially our newest board member, Lisa Robinson. I look forward to working with her.
Thank you.
I'm usually not this riled up.
I just-
So-
That's just not true.
But-
It's okay.
But they're the China now, and I'm the bull, because,
We're the majority.
I have a few things, Dave.
Go ahead.
Do you really?
Yes, they're quick.
What,
They're
new
very
business?
quick. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Or some business. So, we're looking at e-poll books, and we will send you an email on March 27th. The No Ink is gonna be here, and they're gonna do a demo here at the Board of Elections, and I will send you guys an email if you'd like to participate in that. Right?
Okay.
They're gonna come and demo theirs. We have 2 other vendors coming, and I'll send those to you.
And we're gonna invite the press,
No.
well, if we come, we have to notify that we're all gonna be together, right?
I can post on our website to
Yeah.
alert the public.
The new poll books from Knowing are the ones that Columbiana had.
Yeah, it's
Most
those
of-
ones
most-
there with the printer attached.
Most of the state is going with Knowing.
So, I'm just saying that really that's a working meeting for us to be able to ask really good questions about the product, and if the press are there, I hope we're gonna be able to do that. I
All
mean,
I'm
our
saying is
staff-
we gotta
Who were the other 2
notice.
vendors?
Tenex and
I hate
ES&S. Remember, we just said we were gonna make sure we did our due diligence. So that's on March 27th. March
Okay.
14th, we're gonna meet with Jameson and Civic Plus to start looking at our overhaul for our website and our app. I actually meet with Jameson, we meet with him on Friday, and then, so these were the things you had asked about, David, I'm just giving you updates.
All right,
What does he have for the website? Does he have a new vendor for the website?
It's Civic Plus, our contract says that we're due for an overhaul, we're gonna meet with them, and if we're not happy with what they can do, then we're gonna have to look elsewhere, which we're not against, right?
Right, no.
But we thought we'd meet with them first and see. And we did order 4 ballotars from ES&S, and so those will be coming soon too. Those are the ballot on demand that we wanted.
We wanted for early voting for the governors, yes.
So, that's it.
all right,
Just
you'll,
has
and
some
you'll,
updates.
and you'll notify us by email, right?
Yes, I'll keep you
And,
updated
and,
via email.
and all I'd ask is if we're somewhere, we're inquiring about potential new equipment, I think we should just notify the press, and if they wanna come in, because I wanna do everything in front of everyone. So, if they wanna, they're not gonna come, but at least let them know.
Okay.
I doubt anyone's gonna
And
show
so it'll
up,
be about a 2-hour demo.
That's
is about
fine.
what they are.
that's fine. But
No,
no reason that they can't be there and see what we're asking questions about.
Of our system,
Now,
but I didn't think we even had.
you have anything else for new business?
I don't.
Anyone else have anything for new business? All right, anything for good of the order, public comments?
Yes.
Stand up, state your name, and then you have 3 minutes, as you know, because you're always here.
Hi, I'm Kathy Shafey Gage, and I represent the League of Women Voters of Greater Youngstown when I come to these meetings. And for the last 4.5 years, either I or one of my compatriots of the League we've attended almost every meeting. And so we've had a chance to observe how you approach your work. And our observation is that you are conscientious and deliberative. And if this body has deliberated that our voting equipment is at risk in the conditions that we have here, that is an urgent problem. And we would like the commissioners to treat it as an urgent problem. So we would just like to offer to you, if you think it would be helpful, one of us would be certainly happy to go to a commissioners meeting and make a similar statement that I'm making right now to you, if you
Well,
think that would be welcome.
I would welcome you
Yeah, that'd be great.
to go on behalf of the League of Women Voters
Okay.
and say, we have examined it ourselves. This board is doing their, whatever you want to say, but let them know. Commissioners, League of Women Voters, we're not a partisan group.
Nope.
We want to protect people's voting, and you got to get in the building. Knock yourself out. All right, anything else for good, thank you. Anything else for the good order, public comments? All right, the next regularly scheduled meeting is set for Tuesday, April 1st, 2025, at 4 p.m. in the boardroom of the Mahoning County Board of Elections Office, 345 Oak Hill Avenue, Youngstown, Ohio, 44502. Having no further business, the chair will now entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
There's a motion made by Sandra Barger to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by member Joyce Kale-Pesta. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, would the director call the roll?
Ms. Sandy Barger?
Yes.
Attorney David Petras?
Yes,
Attorney Lisa Robinson?
Yes.
Ms. Joyce Kilpesta?
Yes.
this meeting is now adjourned.